video on me faffing around with cheap cheese and cheap pasta. So I was faffing around the other day and I found out that we can use cheap cheese to make a quick pasta sauce instead of normally use like a hard Italian cheese. But the cheap stuff works in a kind of way. So I want to see. It was nice, but I thought I should have had a go at putting more cheese in and kind of like put as much cheese in as I possibly could, just as an experiment to see kind of how it went. So I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do it with pasta shapes this time. So it's kind of going to be, I was thinking about it, like a bit of like a macaroni cheese type of thing. So the idea is that we're cooking the pasta in a little bit of water, not like a lot of water like you're normally supposed to do, like the classic Italian way, just a little bit of water. And then what's going to happen is the starch will come out of the pasta into the water, and that's what's going to kind of form the cheese sauce with the cheese and a little bit of rendered fat as well. So we've got some chicken fat, although not too much. I don't. We're not going to put too much in, so that'll do for the moment, because I think this cheap cheese has got quite a lot of fat in it anyway. So I've salted the water as well. So hopefully what's going to happen is, as the water cooks the pasta and evaporates, the starch will be left behind, and that's what's going to coat the pasta and make the sauce. So, and because we've got the fat in there, it's not going to boil over, and the starch isn't going to form bubbles and kind of boil over. So there's 250 grams worth of pasta in there, just enough water to kind of cover it, half a teaspoon worth of fat, and then we'll see how much cheese we're going to put in. But the idea is we're going to cook it like a risotto. So keep it moving around. The starch will come out of the pasta. If we need to add a little bit more water, we'll add a little bit more boiling water, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. But we're back at the end when I'm adding cheese, because that's all I'm really kind of quite interested in about at this moment in time. So pasta's cooked, water's almost evaporated, there's a little bit left in there, so heat off. I'll cut the door before I bang my head. And then we've got 100 grams worth of cheese on here, so let's add in about half of that. See what happens with that. Hopefully it won't. No, let's put 100 in. Let's just put 100 in and see what happens. And then we can always put a bit more in, a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. So it's kind of melting into the forming the sauce. Kind of. There's certainly much more cheese than that. Right, so I need to grate more cheese. Alright, just grate a bit more cheese, hang on. Right, so that's another 50 grams worth of cheese, and then I've got another 50 grams worth of cheese just in case. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work. No, this is not going to work. It's not forming, it's not coating the pasta like I wanted it to. Not to worry. So there's no point putting any more cheese in that, because it's not going to coat the pasta. Maybe a little bit of water. I'll put a little bit of water in and see if that brings it together a little bit better. Right. We don't always get things right. Okay, it's alright, but it's just not coating. You could probably do with a bit of, like a bit of cheesy sauce granules in it. Anyway, so that doesn't work, but not to worry. So cheese sauce pasta didn't work, but we can just add a little bit of this wild garlic. I made some wild garlic, dried some wild garlic, and I've turned it into a dried herb. So let's just put that in and see what happens and see how it tastes in something, out of curiosity. So it looks well. It looks well. Let's put some more in and see how it tastes and see if it's worth trying the herb. And then we've got at least a video that works. Mind you, I think that's slightly coming better together better. Pepper in that, and then we'll give it a taste. Oh, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. It's not so terrible. It's not so terrible. How's it? I think we might get away with putting some more cheese in that now. Do you know, that's surprisingly good. That's surprisingly good. That wild garlic really works. So drying the wild garlic and puring it into a dried herb works, and it gives you that nice bit of garlic. So there we go. The wild garlic's still out there. Get yourselves out and get some picked and get some dried. That works. Right, let's add this extra 50 grams worth of cheese and see what happens. There should be still enough heat in the pan. In fact, that might be that might actually help. That it's slightly cooled down now, so the cheese might stick to get to the sauce a bit better, maybe, or maybe not. That's going to be gloopy. Let's add a little bit more water, just to loosen it a little bit, and then we'll kind of see. It smells good with that wild garlic powder in, you know. Yeah, okay, so no, that's gone. That's too far, that's too much cheese. So 150 grams worth of cheese was fine for 250 grams worth of pasta. Kind of worked ish at a push, like a poor man's macaroni cheese, but 200 grams worth of cheese, just too much cheese, that it wanted to make a bit of a mess. I mean, it's cheap cheese anyway, so it was never going to be authentically good. It wasn't going to be like a cheese macaroni cheese type of thing, but it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. You know, whatever you've got in it. If you've got some cheap cheese and some pasta in the house, it works. You know, and relatively quick macaroni cheese. But it's all right, it's that, isn't it? It's not coated the pasta entirely, but it is cheap cheese and it is cheap pasta. But that looks better though. That looks better. That's melted a bit. That's okay. Yeah, kind of a success. Kind of a success, but not a full success. But I'm going to eat it. It's pretty good actually. That's like kids' food, as in like you feed that to kids and they love it, you know, without the herbs in it, but just like cheese and pasta, just like it's not very sophisticated. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like just a simple dish. It's not complex. It's just cheese and pasta, you know, and sometimes in life, that's all you want. You want a little bit of cheese. You want some cheese and some pasta. And you don't want it to be rich and complex and use 3 different types of cheese and put some onions in there or some wine, and sometimes you just want cheese and pasta, and that's what it is, and it works. It works. You don't have to faff around baking it in the oven. There you go. You just put some cheese on top and grill it, but it's all right. It kind of works. It kind of works. It's nothing. You're not going to win any awards with it, but you might just come home from a day and be fully satisfied with that for your dinner.